Oh, are we recording? Here we are. Okay, hello, it's Stephanie here. How are you guys doing? Alright, well, I've been adjusting my lighting and all that, and I found out that my phone and the lighting is working against me. I think it's a Chinese operative thing. Just joking. Anyways, guys, hit the like, subscribe, and share. Anyways, speaking about Chinese. Alright, so today I was screwing around on the internet and I really didn't think it was a thing. And I watched Lisa Haven back, I think it was like in 2018 or something like that. And they were talking about how Chinese actually developed software that is, eh, it does all the social programming, social scoring in their country, which is actually legit. They do it. They score people. And what they do is they say, okay, you're a good citizen. You get rewarded this. If you're bad, this is your punishment. Like, if you don't obey the government, they will, well, you know what they do? They say, well, you know what? Sorry, you were a dick. You can't travel. Sorry. You spoke out about the government. You can't buy groceries. I mean, does that kind of sound like what we're getting at? No. Like, we're like, they're not vaccinated. Let them die. Let them die in the horrors of hell. It's like people have lost all common sense of humanity. We're all being like torn apart by this virus, and I'm just watching it ramp up again to where you have people in the military who are going on TV on national news who are saying, I am 3 times vaccinated. And I'm telling you, it's getting so bad right now. I'm so glad. Even though I just tested positive. Wait a minute. So you've had 3 vaccines and you just tested positive and you're sick. But hang in there, humanity. It could be worse. I could be a dead man right now if I didn't get those vaccines. To me, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, I don't get it. I don't know if it's just because, like, I think the last time I ever really followed TV was like when Paris Hilton and like what was her name? Nicole whatever. Her dad was like Stevie Wonder or whatever. What was her name? No, not Stevie Wonder. I don't know, but they were friends. It was like the country life or I don't know. But that was like the first takeoff to reality TV. Then it ended up with the Kardashians, which never ends. We all thought, yeah, they were retiring. They were retiring. Never. Not true. They're doing. And I mean, I kind of find it funny because, like, Kanye just bought a house across the street from Kim. Come on, guys. It's just like how our politicians play us. It's all bullshit. Have you noticed, like, it's about to be midterms? All of a sudden, the Omicron is gonna get everybody. See all these people lined up in lines. Everybody's scared out of their mind. They forget there's colds, flus. Not only that, you have to ask yourself, okay, so we've seen a lot of things come out, in the media, like how, China has their social credit score to where China has their social. I'm so nervous talking about this because after what I read, it's kind of freaking dark, dude. Basically, right now, China, the CCP, if they think you are a threat to their national security by talking about them, that is in a negative way, they can extradite you now. They're doing it in Canada for the advocates who speak up for the Muslims who are in those I'm so nervous. Oh, concentration camps. Ugh. Like you have to think, how did China get the authority to go to Canada and take a man and charge him as a national security threat because he's speaking up for Muslims, right? I thought America was supposed to be all about, like, we're supposed to help people. No, it like goes like certain ways, and when you kind of look at it, it's like really dark, sick way. What are you gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing, because honestly, there's nothing we can do about it at this point in time. I mean, you got crazy Hillary coming out. She's like, I'm gonna go in 2024. And we're all like, oh my God, where's the whiskey? Like, we just are like, fuck. Like, fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. And not to mention, all right, like here in Houston, right, all over the media right now, it's all about like these poor immigrants, these migrants, they're not getting the right asylum. They should have attorneys. They should have this and that and that and this. So many of them are being denied. Okay, first off, look, acknowledge the fact that there's a lot of bad things that really bad people do who are opportunists. Stop. Dude, I live in Texas and flu, fruit flies are the worst. Anyways, so it's like they totally dodged the entire part in all these things and all the polls and surveys they're taking and all these things they post all over the internet. It was like Ivory something. I don't know what her name is, but she's a total cunt. She's just another bleach blonde bitch who's trying to act like she's some conservative hero, but at the end of the day, she's not. She's just like everybody else. If people really cared, they would get to the root of the real cause of why this is going on. And the real root and the real cause is because there's a lot of money in drugs. There's a lot of money in child trafficking. There's a lot of money in the sex trafficking industry. There's a lot of money in all that corrupt things and all these things that go on. And whether people want to admit it or not, our governments and so on and our religious organizations, well, they all kind of have their own little deals with the devil. So, if you want to call it. Right now, we live in a society where we have no consciousness. People don't care. They don't value human life. They don't. What do you think they donate things for? To make themselves feel better, and it's a tax write off. Look at Jill Olstein. Look at all these pricks. They're false prophets, dude. I don't give a shit. Kanye and his Jesus rocks. He milked that too. It's like, well, people wake up and realize that back in the beginning of ruling classes and wars and all that, the Pope and the whatever whoever was in power at that time, it was between them and the Pope and like other whatever. But you have to understand, like there's been relics that have been made because when there were actual like wars going on over sacred so-called whatever back in back when they didn't even have like electricity that people got to go back hundreds of years and go back in time and look at the history of where we are to where we are now. And there's like a 40-year-old like not 40-year-old like a I think it's like a 40-year period where they have no history of Jesus and his life or anything like that. But we know that Jesus went and talked to the Essenes, he was with the Sumerians, he went to Egypt, like he traveled all over all these places, that he meditated with monks and he was a Buddhist, and he learned that that holy light within us. And like people say it's like witchcraft and stuff, it's really not. And that's what he was here to do. He was like here to set us free from the establishment that said we are the rulers of all that'll be. You have to listen to us and obey. And like Jesus came in and said, you know what, hold up, that's not true, and people can actually do this and that. See, he was trying to do what? Enlighten people, bring truth, bring knowledge into a society that had none because there was only one knowledge that was allowed to be spoken of. And if you spoke against that knowledge, it was considered heresy and they would kill you, just like Leonardo da Vinci and all those artists. Do you think they were like putting all these hidden codes and other theologians, scholars were like hiding things, or the Dead Sea Scrolls? Like, do you really think people hid this stuff because it was conspiracy? No, it would cost them their life, but they knew that it was wrong what was being done. So right now I'm watching everything that's going on and I'm thinking, my God, how damned are we? Like, is this the last? Like, what generation right now is going to be the last generation of humans before transhumanism? Because we're right there. We got Neuralink. I mean, you have people right now. I mean, they literally line up in cars by the thousands to go get things shoved up their nose, just like the ancient Egyptians did to hit the amygdala. Because when you hit the amygdala in the brain, when you shove something so far up there, it dumbs you down. They knew the importance of human consciousness and the power of God of within. And that's what the establishment was threatened by. What does the ruling class, what is the establishment gain if people have hidden knowledge, forbidden knowledge? Look at the Catholic Church right now. You have one world religion, Chrislam. Oh, that's so Christian. Like, guys, come on. There is a God. We've just been lied to. And, like, a lot of people are so outraged also about, like, how can they be doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, it's called the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act, 9/11 was to protect us from all threats of terrorism. Okay, well, all those threats were very vague. Okay, so now it's kind of defined as whatever they define as a threat to them is terrorism. That's their own decision. Because when you go on Twitter and you look up certain things, you'll see like all these pornographic things, all these horrible, nasty things. And you'll see people talking about murdering white people, white Christians, white Trump supporters, kill them, do this, do that. I mean, talking about really awful things, like real things that have been going on, not just the insurrection that our own FBI and CIA was involved with. And you know what? Trump's a pawn too. They're all pawns. They're all fucking part of it. But at the end of the day, what is being distracted from? What's being distracted? What's ramping up? Omicron, Omicron, Omicron. You already have schools going back to virtual. What's coming up? 22 two midterm elections. Oh, fuck, man. And it's like the Patriot Act pretty much made it to where if there's an emergency, any kind of emergency, all of our rights are nulled and void. Right? It's basically under martial law. We're under martial law. And people don't want to admit it. They want to still believe that Trump is their savior. He's going to save. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look around, fool. Like, I just, I don't know. I just think people are, the Patriot Act is being used upon its own citizens. And we have the CCP in China that has its own software that can target people in the Western world and extradite them because, and they can extradite you and take you there and charge you because you're a target to their national security. Wait a minute. So now if you even talk about China in your own country, China can come and get you. Hello, McFly. Anybody home? Yo, that's why like LeBron, that's why all these fucking people, they're just like all brown round in there in that China butt, dude. And I'm just sitting here thinking, holy shit. I know I've got to be on a couple of those lists. I know I am. I'm not even going to deny it. I am. I'm so fucked, dude. I'm going to end up in a concentration camp. So, any of my followers, my subscribers, like all that kind of stuff, dude, we need to form our like own basketball team or something. I mean, we know we're going to be like Australia, all up in those quarantine camps. or you literally have the military knock on your door and they're like, come with us. And you're like, why? And they're like, because I said so. And what are you going to do? Nothing. Because you can't. Because under emergency powers, it's all null and void. And like all the things you're seeing going on, none of this is by accident. It's all done by purpose. It's actually pretty dark and deep. And all over the TV. Get your kids vaccinated, do this, do that. But they're also not talking about all the states that are having to pay like hundreds of millions of dollars to people who have been injured by vaccines. It's like we live in this convoluted reality world. Actually, that's all it is convoluted. We live in a made up reality. It's convoluted. They keep you confused and scared to where you cannot come up with your own decisions, to where you're always on the edge and you're walking on eggshells. So you're just waiting for something and you're like, okay, okay, okay. Thank God. No, that's not the right. That right there, you're in an abusive relationship with your government. If you're waiting on the TV or your local official to tell you whether you're going to be safe or not, whether you should go to work or not, whether you should live your life or not, I mean, whether you should do whatever, based on what their perspective is of, I'm doing this to take care of you. Has nothing to do with you ever. It really doesn't. It so doesn't. Okay, sorry guys, I'm blind. Hold on. Okay, so there's this commercial in Australia, right? And they're talking about like the vaccine. And oh wow, it's pretty freaking dark, okay? So in this commercial, it shows like this guy. I don't advocate for smoking or anything of the such. I'm just addicted to smoking cigarettes, and this is better than a cigarette for me right now. So, anyways, so oh my goodness, so damn. Um, okay, please be quiet. Okay, so in Australia, okay, they have this new commercial out, and it shows like a nurse, and it's a guy like who looks like he's been emaciated, like he hasn't eaten in like 20 years, and he's like dying, and they're like, we'll be here to hold your loved one's hand and we'll comfort them while you say your goodbye. We'll lower the lights, we'll dim them, and we'll put them in a body bag and we'll send them on their way as you whisper your last goodbyes. I love you. Why didn't you get your COVID shot? I'm thinking, okay, Australian media, is that like saying like, wait a minute? So why would the government call the family and be like, "We're so sorry you lost a loved one"? Were they in your quarantine camps? Like, what the fuck? New York is doing these COVID camps. We have the entire media. Now they're coming out with like, shoot up your kids, do this, do that. Is nobody paying attention to what like is really going on with the side effects and kind of stuff like that? And I just think it's really irresponsible to just be like, go shoot up your kids. Like, anybody know what's going to happen? Especially when they're covering up how many mass millions of dollars they're paying to millions of people for like COVID jab injuries. So the conspiracy theorists say, I'm not saying this is real or not. I'm just saying this is something I read. You know, I don't I say, dude, you gotta get your vaccines. Go get those vaccines. Take them. Every time the government says get a shot, get a shot. Just do it. Just be like, yes, okay, just do it. I mean, they're here to protect us, right? They're here to take care of us. That's all they care about. They are here to make sure that none of us get sick, that we have, you know, healthy water, that everything in our food is healthy, not to mention, like, I mean, the government is so great at taking care of our health and looking out for us. Like, there's all these foods that are banned in other countries that our country didn't ban and we get to eat it. I mean, it's like other countries are like, fuck no, we don't want that American toxic shit. But you can give it to your own people. It's all about your health, right? All about your health. So there's actual proof that there are like fetal, like DNA type of things going on and certain things. And they're like, well, it's not made in the exact ingredient, so it doesn't count. Is anybody paying attention to like the rules and regulations of what is considered healthy and not healthy, in this country? Because if you really start looking into it, when it comes down to your health,